This is the Junior Cert 2019 Ordinary Level Question 6, which looks at circles and tangents. So the figure shows the logo for a car breakdown recovery company. We're asked to draw the logo showing clearly how to find the centres of the circles shown and show clearly all construction lines, tangents and points of contact. So what we're going to start with first is we're going to just start with the base, the underside of it where the centres of the wheels are, and we're going to go from there. So we're going to start by finding the positions for the centres of the wheels. So we've got this point, this is 40 here, that's going to be the centre for those bonus wheels. Then I've got 80, 45 and 40. And then we have one more measurement of 16 which goes on to the end of this, and that's that point there. Zoom in a little bit more. So I'm going to draw the circles for the wheels starting first. So the outer circle is a radius 20 for both of them, and the inner circle is a radius 10. So I'm just going to put marks there first, and then taking my compass, swinging an arc of radius 20. And I'll do that from both of them. Is here. So that's the two radius 20s done, and then I'll do both the radius 10s together. And there we have our two wheels drawn. The next thing that I'm going to look at is to find the cab, this part of it up here, as much of that as I can. So we're going to be coming up 45 first on the front. And then up a further 55 to the top. That's the very top of this, and then we're just locating the cab part. So that's from this mark here that we made a while ago. So directly above that is going to be the back of it, and we're going to find the front. So looking at the question just for a moment, the front part of that cab is a 60-degree angle, and that 60-degree angle is formed from a specific point. We're not given a measurement up top, but if you follow where that 60 degree starts from, it starts from the right hand edge of the front wheel, so that's where we're going to start from. So from this point here, we're going to bring this line up till it touches here, and then we're going to go at 60 degrees from that point. That's going to give us the front of the cab. So again, drawing all of this in lightly to start off with, until we can get a bit more darkened in. So we're going to look now at this front part up here. So we've got an arc up at the front that's of radius 25. It needs to touch off this, so that means the centre is going to be 25 millimeters away from this line. It needs to touch off this one, which means the centre is going to be 25 millimeters off this line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a line, measure back 25 millimeters, and draw a line parallel to the front. Do the same thing from the top. 25 and 25. So this point here now is 25 millimeters away from here and from up here. So again, taking our compass, and swinging an arc here of our radius 25. That touches off the top line and the bottom line. So we can darken in a bit now here at the front. We can darken in this little bit of a line here at the front, the base. over as far as the wheel. And on between the wheels as well. So we're going to look at now is finding this arc here. So again, we've got a radius 25 arc. This time it needs to touch off of this line coming along here and off this line here. So again, the center for this circle is going to be up 25 millimeters above this line. So I'm just going to measure up here 25 millimeters and draw a line parallel to that top one. So the distance between these two lines here is 25. I'm going to do the same thing now for the sloping line at 60 degrees. So again, 25 millimeters here. And parallel to this 60-degree line. So where these two arcs cross is a line that is both 25 millimeters away from this baseline and from this angle line. So I'm just taking lines now perpendicular to both of those here and here. So it's a vertical line here and a 90-degree line here. They're going to give me my 2 points of contact. So that gives us the arc there at the front of that. So again, we can darken it a little bit more. And working our way up. So just coming out the line here at the back, and I'm going to come up with the 25 that they tell us in the question. There at the back, giving us that point. Now the next thing we're going to do, we've got a large arc that comes in through here, so we're going to find this one now next. So we're looking for the position that this touches up here, so that's up 15 millimeters, we're given that point. And we have this point here. So we have 2 points on an arc. So we have an arc, we know the radius of it is 90, what we don't know is where the center is, but we can find it. We have this point here, which is a point on the circumference. Same for this point here, this is also a point on the circumference. As they're both points on the circumference, that means that the distance from this point to the center is going to be the radius, and this one from this point to the center will also be the radius distance. Same if you take one of these wheels. So from this point to the center is going to be 20, from any point around the outside on the circumference from that point to the center is equal to the radius. So I'm going to set the compass to 90 millimeters. That's the radius that they give us. So, and then I put the point of my compass on this mark, which was up 15, and swing an arc. Do the same thing, keeping the same size radius from this point, swing an arc so that it intersects the first arc. And where those two arcs cross each other is 90 millimeters away from this mark and this mark. So then I can swing this point that touches off both. So that gives us our arc coming up along here. It touches off the point here and the point down here. So final part of this question is to locate the circle that is up here and to find the tangents that are associated with them. So we've got a circle that we need to locate first. If we look, it has a radius of 16. So it's a radius of 16, and the very top of that circle is in line with the top of the cab. So that's where we're going to measure down from first. So we're going to measure down 16, and we're going to draw our circle. So measuring down from the top of this here, so in line with the top of the cab, down 16 millimeters, and we're going to draw a circle. which I have put in the wrong spot. Okay, so that's 16 millimeters. Sorry, it needs to be back here 16. So it's, I put it directly over the back, which it's not. It's back over here. So that's where that needs to go. This point here. Now I can draw an arc or a circle or radius 16. And this gives us our circle. What we're going to do next is we've got a line joining from this point to the center. So I can darken that one in. That goes up along that way. And the final thing that we're looking for now is a tangent to the circle that touches it up here somewhere from a point down here. So looking at that one, the top line of joining to the circle at the back, so a tangent, and it joins to just below that 15 millimeter mark in the center. So that's going to join to this point here. This is the point that our tangent is outside the curve. So how we're going to find this is with our standard tangent construction, joining this point to the center of the circle that it's tangent to. We need to bisect that line. So extend over halfway and swing an arc. Same going the opposite way. These will cross each other, and that bisects that line for us. So point our compass now onto that bisector, the midpoint of the line, and we swing our arc until it cuts through the circle up on top. So swinging this arc, it cuts through this point up here. That's the point that we're going to join our tangent to. So our tangent now joins from here up to that point, and that's the point of contact. So the only other thing that would be left to do with this question is just to darken in a couple of the circles, and just to label our points of contact. So just going to label this one here. That's the point of contact. They're okay. These are points of contact, and we've got two more here: point of contact and point of contact. And that completes this question, which is the 2019 question 6.